Right, so a little while ago I did a setup video in which I said that I could possibly do a Q&A video if I received some questions, and people have submitted questions. I mean, admittedly not really that many questions. Some were also definitely better than others. There's some really bad questions in there, which I will also get to, some really bad questions. Yeah, this is going to be the Q&A video, so the gameplay in the background is Verdun, which is a World War I shooter. You know, it's got everything you'd expect from World War I, bolt-action rifles, Lewis machine guns, and trenches, even. Gas masks too. But let's get to the questions. So what game overall really advanced my gaming skills? Now that's kind of a tough question, but in short, probably no game. And my gaming history is kind of weird. I started out playing on a PC when I was just really young. You know, back then we had Wolfenstein 3D, great game. And then later on I moved over to console. Now those were dark times, consoles definitely. And yeah, you know, when I grew older and I became smart, I realized that I wanted a PC. So I saved up for a PC and switched back over to PC gaming. So yeah, with that in mind, most of my gaming history is on consoles, and I will admit, if you play shooters on console, I mean, maybe some like movement coordination you'll learn, but aiming, not really. Communication, yeah, definitely not really. I mean, this was back in a PS3 where you couldn't even have party chat, so you had to rely on voice activation in Call of Duty, and most people didn't have headsets, so yeah. But you know, one game has taught me a very valuable skill, and that game is Modern Warfare 2. Now, what Modern Warfare 2 teaches you, it does not teach you how to shoot a gun properly in a video game, but it does teach you how to control your anger, because that game was fucking infuriating. So if you could control your temper while playing that game, you can control your temper anywhere. So that's a pretty good skill, I guess. You know, I always try and be relaxed, laid back. You know, sometimes I do still get kind of pissy, but I try not to. And for most of the times I don't, so yeah, good skill. So I'm gonna go with Modern Warfare 2 for that one. How far am I along in my schooling, and what do I plan on doing after? I'm in my second year of my bachelor's degree. I don't know really whether or not this is universal. I think the American schooling system is kind of different. I think the UK and most of Europe's schooling system is kind of similar. But anyways, I finished high school, then I moved on over to university for a bachelor degree in science, which is mechanical engineering. So I'm doing that right now, second year of a 3-year bachelor's degree. So yeah, after that I plan on doing a master's degree. In what? I still have no idea, but I'm sure I'll figure that one out. And that's pretty much it. That was a really simple question. Good question. Simple, well typed, good punctuation. Anyways, moving on to this. So, what is that shit on your nightstand, Bart? Is that lotion? Does that look like lotion? Is that lotion? Well, let me get into that. So, if you look closely at the video, okay, closer, in slow motion. Okay, now freeze frame, zoom, enhance. Okay, that does not work. Okay, apparently we have to go deeper. Also, this is my face right here if you haven't seen that one before. Okay, I'm blonde, I'm not black, I'm actually white, but yeah. Okay, so Exhibit A right here. Exhibit A. Eyewear, all-in-one basic. Okay, what would that indicate? Eyewear, eyewear, eyes. Eyes, eye. Okay, let's see. Contact case. Contact lens case right there, you know? Contact lenses, you know, you would probably put that on your nightstand because, you know, it's easy to access. Yeah? Okay. It's not lotion, guys. It's not lotion. Well, now that we got that out of the way, we can return to the questions. So, do you live in the Netherlands? Yes. Are you Dutch? Yes. Do you speak a different language? Yes. But yeah, I guess I'll specify on this one. So, I speak English and Dutch mostly. And by mostly, I mean those are the only 2 languages I speak fluently. Now, I do speak a tad bit of German. I mean, if somebody starts speaking German to me for whatever reason, I can sort of keep up with them, unless they start shouting. But they don't really do that much anymore, so we're good on that. And I also speak a tad bit French. I mean, I pretty much dropped French as fast as I could because I didn't like it. So, I mean, I can probably sort of get what French people are saying, but mostly probably not. So, bit of French, bit of German, some English shots in there. Then I can translate Latin. Yeah, those are the perks of going to a gymnasium in Europe. You get to choose an ancient language. So either you get some Latin in there or some ancient Greek. I chose Latin because, yeah. But yeah, I can also translate a tiny bit of ancient Greek. I mean, I followed that for like 1 year, maybe. I mean, I know the Greek alphabet, I guess. Also know parts of the Cyrillic alphabet, so that's pretty cool, right? You know, that's probably because I played too much on Chernarus. I thought it was a good idea at one point to sort of like look at the Cyrillic alphabet so I could understand what town I was in. Because like in the early days, like the very early days of the DayZ mod, I found this place called BBBBO. Now apparently that translates to Vibor, but I didn't know that at the time, so it was really embarrassing. So yeah, languages. I've gotten enough of playing ARMA related games. Honestly not really. I mean, Overclock is pretty much the only thing I play consistently right now because I just enjoy playing it. I honestly don't really have that much more to play. Because if I did have something else to play, I'd probably play that. But I don't, so... Yeah, the game I am looking forward to though is Fallout 4. That's a big one on the list. And I like Fallout 3 a lot, so I'm hoping Fallout 4 is gonna deliver. It's gonna surpass my dreams. Yeah, maybe. But it should be interesting enough. I don't know, I like Bethesda games in general, so I think Fallout 4 should be a good game. I'm kind of looking forward to that game, but yeah. Other than that, not really that much, honestly. No. How did Wolf and I come to play together? So yeah, this dives back into the DayZ history. So I started playing the DayZ mod the summer of 2012, I think. So first sort of started playing that solo. Then I tried looking around for some people to play with because playing solo was, well, you know, was doable. But, you know, I wanted some partners to be able to survive better. So I stumbled upon the old UK 31 clan. I know, I think I saw a post somewhere. But anyways, I joined their team, actually not TeamSpeak, Mumble, not TeamSpeak, it was a Mumble server which I joined and then I started playing with those people. Now Wolf was amongst those people from the very beginning. See, I guess that means I've known Wolf for about 3 years at this point. And honestly, in my mind, his voice hasn't changed at all. But yeah, that's the history right there. So old UK 31 clan, don't go looking back at those videos because they're fucking terrible, but yeah. Then if you're wondering about Vizuki, I literally rolled inside his base once and somebody else had to go get me out. Yeah. Do you believe the mind has mass? Do you believe that infinity truly exists when it comes to physical objects such as the universe? Lastly, what are your thoughts on the theory of multi-universes? Interesting question, but guess what? I study applied sciences and not theoretical things, so go ask a fucking physicist, okay? Yeah, I said there was no shortage of bad questions, so what made you start doing YouTube? This is actually a good question, you know? That last one was kinda bad, but, you know, you get some, you lose some. Anyways, what made me start doing YouTube? It's quite simple actually, and I guess it's the same for most people. I saw other people do YouTube, and I was like, I wanna do YouTube, and then I did YouTube. And then fast forward 3 years, and I got a decent audience. But yeah, if you are thinking about doing YouTube, you should probably just start doing YouTube. I mean, there's really no excuse. Just, you know, get the programs together. If you're on PC, it's simple enough. If you're on console, you have to get like an Elgato nowadays. But just do it on PC and then start recording, make some videos. You're gonna start making terrible videos, but they'll get better over time. And then eventually, you'll have a YouTube channel with maybe some subscribers on it. Also, pro tip, if you do end up doing that, make sure your intro isn't like a minute long because most people's attention spans are not really that long. So make sure your intro is nice and concise. How the hell do you speak English so fluently? So yeah, during my high school days, I was in this special English class. So this was for people that already knew like a certain amount of English and didn't mind actually spending more time in the school. You know, we had 2 classes a week instead of 1 for the regular kids. So yeah, that probably helped me out a tad bit, you know, it taught me some phrasal verbs and some gerunds, but I think most of all, it's because I grew up in a time where not every word on the internet was translated. So, you know, if you wanted to understand things, you sort of had to understand English. I mean, we did have Google Translate, but like not every page was literally translated. So you needed to know some English. Then apart from that, you know, I watched a lot of like series and movies. And you know, we live in one of those countries where they don't like dub over every movie, but we just get subtitles. So, you know, fast forward a few years and I knew some English and then I improved upon the English. Actually, with that special English class, they had us do the CPE exam, which is like a certificate of proficiency in English. So I got that as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, basically just like do English, practice English, think English, and then English. You know English. I mean, it's not really a difficult language when you get down to it, you know? Where are the windmills and do you hide your clocks? Now, see, when you're born in the Netherlands, you know, you get gifted like a pair of clocks fit the size by the government. But unfortunately, I sort of outgrew mine, so during one of our very harsh winters, I had to chop them up for firewood. So I don't have my clocks anymore. As for the windmills, you just have to look hard. They're out there. Definitely. Do you do boxing? I used to do some kickboxing, hence why there's like gloves on my wall, but since they're on the wall, I don't actually use them anymore. So, stopped kickboxing a long time ago. But I do have the basic technique down, so that's something. What are my recording settings for Dxtory and what are my render settings for Vegas? Now this used to be in the basebin document, but I changed it a tad bit. I run a really weird recording setup. Basically, I record all my audio with Dxtory, and then I record the video with Shadowplay, because ARMA and Dxtory don't really go that well together if you're aiming for 60 FPS. I mean, 60 FPS in general in ARMA is not really a thing you're gonna achieve, but with Dxtory, definitely not. So I run like a really botched setup, but it does work. It does require some manual syncing. But yeah, I'll leave like a video in the description telling you how to do that. As for the render settings, they're pretty much identical to Jack Frack's latest 60 FPS render settings. He does like a video every year or every 2 years where he tells you what are the latest and greatest render settings, so I literally just copied those. So that's it. And then finally, if life was a potato, would a potato be life? See, as I already mentioned, there was no shortage of shitty questions. This is one of them. But yes.